Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Kamen Zero Spike back again once again, and today we're here for Bakuage Sentai Boonboomger episode 21, and this episode was relatively quick. Like, there wasn't really we just had a main plot. There wasn't no really a B plot in this at all. We just went straight to the point. We got the new form. We were just in there. It was just straight. Like straight as plank from Ed, and Eddie. But yeah, like this episode was very much straightforward. We got some little bit of backstory on Taya, but it really wasn't talked about that much. Like, we really didn't get any major details about this backstory with Taya. It just felt like, oh, Taya had a thing he wanted to do when he was a kid or something like that. We see some old drawings and stuff like that of something he made, you know, down there when they was like cleaning like the basement of the house, and they found these old drawings of Taya as a firefighter. And yeah, like and we see that Boondadio is trying to basically get Taya to talk about that dream, but you know, Taya's like, I don't know, like, you know how we have dreams as kids that we kind of like, or something like we really wanted to do when we was a kid, like when we grew up and stuff, and then we kind of like grew out of it. I feel like that's what Taya basically did, because like he has never talked about how he wanted to be a firefighter as a kid, because you know, like, yeah, those dreams as a kid that you kind of let go of. Like, I wanted to be an archaeologist because I really like dinosaurs and prehistoric creatures and stuff, but I kind of just let it go after a while. But yeah, so we see that Boondadio is trying to like get Taya to talk about it. Like, he's trying to force Taya to talk about it, and Taya's like, I don't know, and he doesn't have like a fight with Taya, but he does feel bad about how he was trying to force Taya to like talk about it. And then also throughout the episode, we see that our main Buffoon, Itasha, and Yadokar, they basically created a fire extinguisher auto monster that was kind of had some bird action going on with it too. And basically they were trying to gather gasoline from people by spreading these fire extinguishers that weren't really fire extinguishers. They were basically a fire extinguisher that shot fire, and the more and more that they spread out, the more gasoline that they will actually be able to get. So they're basically like disguising themselves as humans, which is still weird to me. I'm like, how do these people not see what they are? But basically disguising themselves as humans and going up to people's houses and giving them this fire extinguisher that's will basically shoot off, you know, fire, causing that person distress. That person feels distress, and then gasoline comes out of their body. Yeah, weird sentence, huh? But yeah, so while they're doing that, we see that Joe is given the assignment to figure out what's going on with all these random fires that are going around in the city by ISA girl. I still haven't gotten her name yet. Maybe because she hasn't been around like that, I don't know. But Saiba, I think it's Saiba. But yeah, so he gets the mission from her, and then, you know, Joe basically is on the case because, you know, he is 12. He's a police officer. And then him and the candy detective, better known as Genba, because for some reason there's no context behind this at all, but Genba is basically pretending to be a detective in this episode. He calls himself the candy detective, and he's the one that basically was able to figure out and deduce like what was going on here. And we see that they end up giving this woman, R3, basically give this older lady a fire extinguisher. And then that's when we see Joe and the candy detective come in, they intercept it, and they stop it from like shooting out the fire or whatever, basically, you know, causing her distress, getting gasoline out of her, all that stuff. So yeah, so when they did that, we see that Genba and Joe have basically going around the city, basically gets everybody involved, and they're going around the city collecting all these fire extinguishers. But they kind of do it off screen, like we don't see them like doing it really like that. And you know, Sakito and Bune Diesel, they're just kind of here, like they really don't do anything. Like they have like a scene or whatever with Boondadio, and, you know, trying to motivate him to like talk to Taya and stuff like that. But yeah, they kind of don't do anything. I mean, they help out in the mech fight, of course, but still, they kind of don't do anything. They just kind of, they're just kind of here. And but yeah, so we see that Boondario, he goes back after having that talk with Sakito and Boom Diesel, and he goes back to base, and while everybody's out, and he hears everything that's going on between everyone, so he decides to create a new like a weapon based off of Taya's dream and stuff. Basically, he creates like a fire extinguisher like gun, but it's also a form, and he basically takes one of the fire extinguishers and like repurposes it. So now it's called the Zoom Zoom Fire Blaster. And yep, I was wondering when we were gonna get the word zoom in here, because they're freaking car people, a tire person. But yeah, so he ends up creating this gun in like a matter of seconds. Like he makes all the blueprints and everything for this thing, and he's able to give it to Taya after our Rangers basically intercept our auto bird monster, and they intercept him. They basically fight him, destroy the grunts and stuff, and then that's when he starts shooting off all this fire, shooting his mixtape everywhere. And then they end up that's when Boom Diesel, Sakito, and Boondario, they arrive on the scene, and they end up giving Taya the Zoom Zoom Fire Blaster. And when he uses it, he transforms into Boon Red 119. And I guess, yeah, I know that over there in Japan, 119 is basically 911, how it is over here. So he transforms into that and does a bang up job of taking this thing out. And we see that next episode, this form is going to get a Zord that's like a companion to it, but yeah, called the Boon Leo. But yeah, we'll get to that in a second. But other than that, we see that he uses this form and single-handedly defeats the bird auto monster. It takes him out, and then we get our mech fight, which is also very very quick. They end up using Boon Monster Robo, and the return of that, the return of the dinosaur monster freaking form they had. And then he started to shoot the fire and stuff everywhere. So boom, Boom Diesel throws him his his jet flyer and all that stuff, gives him his wings, and then he ends up taking it. And then they use the wings, they end up taking out the monster. When they take him out, we see that Boondario, they go back to base, and we see that Boondario apologizes to Taya and stuff like that. They make up and stuff like that. It's all nice and cool and dandy. And yeah, that's kind of it. Yeah, that's kind of it, because this episode was so freaking short. But I do like the little backstory we got with Taya, showing that what he wanted to be as a kid, and stuff like that. And now he has a form that full on represents that. I guess Taya wanted to be a fireman at one point. He wanted to be some kind of hero, and bam, whim, bam, blibbity bow, you got it. But yeah, this form looks dope. I'm very much enjoying this form. I kind of hope everybody kind of gets their own thing, Like, I kind of hope like everybody else gets like their own like little form or whatever, because it's like, I mean, if we're going back to basics when it comes down to Boonboomger, maybe the others won't get anything, or maybe the others will get something. Lately in Sentai, everybody's basically getting like their own little, type of form type thing going on, which is dope. But yeah, man. Next episode, we are going to get the debut of Boon Leo. We're getting a new Boom Boom card, which is a red lion. So most likely it's going to be like the companion, or the companion to this new form that we have for Taya. But other than that, it looked dope. I like the fighting. It looked dope. It's very, it's mostly just a chest plate, really, with a little bit of armor on the legs, but the lower parts of the legs. But other than that, he's still Boon Red up under that. And it does seem like the leather around his body, the leather around his whole suit looks kind of thicker, because I don't know, he's black and red now, so I guess maybe it looks more plasticky. It looks more shiny. When it comes down to when he's in this form. But other than that, yeah, form looks dope. I'm really liking it. It was this, but my only gripe with this episode is that it felt super rushed. It didn't feel like a full episode to me. Like, I just feel like they kind of rushed out this episode just to go ahead and debut the new form, so they can start, doing something. So they can start next episode and start building up the form even less, or building up the form even more. Building up the form even more. Now that basically this episode was just here to establish that new form. So yeah, but other than that, this episode was cool. My only gripe was it felt super rushed. Like, it felt like it was just going and going and going. No B plot, nothing. It was just going. But other than that, I love this episode. It was dope. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about this episode of Bakuage Sentai Boonboomger? What do you guys think of the new form, man? What do you think of the name too? I kind of want to know what people think about the name. But other than that, I'm gonna see you guys next time. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and as remember, as I always say, stay henshin.